is an amateur game. I mean, the professional side of it, there are idols and heroes and fun to watch them play. But I mean, if it wasn't for amateur golf, there would be no golf.
You have to remember, when you play a golf course and you're out there for 4 hours or whatever, you're only hitting a ball for 15 minutes of that. So there's a lot of time to look around.
Welcome to another episode of the Top 100 Clubhouse podcast. This week we have a very hotly contested subject in the Scottish Top 100. Jasper, you've been working pretty hard on it. What do you think? Are you quite happy with what you got?
Yeah, I don't know if we're fully there yet. We've got a deep panel that for many, many years has played probably the top 150 to 175 courses in Scotland. Again, we've reissued our ranking guidance, so that's had an effect and is starting to take hold. It's really easy to get around the top courses in Scotland. Everybody's played them. Everybody has a view. But similar to England, once you kind of get past, like, to the lower side of it, you start to have to go a little bit inland. And it's difficult for golfers to get away from the links in Scotland to play inland golf. Although some of the best inland Scottish golf is world class. Thinking about places like Loch Lomond and Glen Eagles. Both kings and queens are brilliant golf courses. So we continue this thing. One of the big things with this ranking cycle that we wanted to do, because it all kind of got thrown out of whack with regards to having all of the rankings align. So we had courses that were higher in the USA or in GB&I than other courses that were higher in the world ranking. So you might get, a course at 30 in the world and it would be ranked lower in America than, and so forth. So I think I've explained that. Hopefully that follow that. So this has been a massive reset, not only with new panelists, with new ranking guidance, but also we've tried to align the rankings. So just looking down the list, the top 13 golf courses in Scotland are all in the world rankings. So basically, spots 1 through 13 were already decided by the world panel. Then you've got the top 28 golf courses in Scotland were decided by the GB&I panel.
There's a big crossover between the two, Scottish and GB&I.
So the Scottish panel basically starts from about 29 onwards. So they kind of worry themselves with the next 100. So from, say, 29 to 129. And to be honest with you, you get down into, even at the bottom end of the panel, or the bottom end of the ranking, you've still got good golf courses that are household names. And I think what we'll see as we move forward through Scotland, maybe even the end of this year when we do the update after the playing season, is that a lot of these quaint, curious, quirky, smaller clubs will see a rise. And again, similar to Ireland, we'll probably see some of the golf courses that are a bit more polished and have a bit more investment, but don't necessarily play as well, drop. So, yeah, it's an interesting one because similar to Ireland, you get these extremes. You get some of the best, literally the best links golf courses in the world, all the way through to like posh inland resort golf courses that almost Americans are staying at exclusively, and the average local.
But it has been done right at places like Glen Eagles and Loch Lomond, where you've got these high-end, serious, world-class golf courses. It's not all resort courses are bad. It's the fact that if you did it in the 80s and 90s, it's normally pretty hard to come back from that period of golf course architecture.
Exactly. So it and taste change. I think there's like some really good golf that we've seen kind of rise a little bit. I mean, Mercur's a good one. So Mercur's always been well thought of, but it's always been thought as a really demanding test of golf. And that's probably why it didn't rank as well as it should have, but they've started to cut back the gorse.
Flatten areas, widen areas, because it's an amazing site for golf. It's extreme. It's all you could say about it.
Yeah.
And we've just come back from it. We're sitting up at the dunes at Cruden Bay. The McDonald brothers have very kindly looked after us here, and I'd strongly recommend if you're going to play at Cruden Bay, stay at the dunes. And the thing is, at Mercer, there's so much excitement. They've got this incredible head greenkeeper who's doing a huge amount of work on the course and is bloody talented and seems to know exactly what he's doing. So those are the kind of things that we want to reward.
Exactly. So that's one of the bigger ones that takes a jump. Panmure obviously is right in that area too. Places like Dundonald fall back a bit. And there's actually a lot of work going on in Scotland. So, you think about, the two big ones that we're going to have to make a change with this year is with Cabot Highlands. So, Old Petty opening up, which is Tom Doak's design, headquartered by, or quarterbacked by Clyde Johnson. And then we've also got the new course at Trump, which we've been able to see all 18 holes. So we'll have a little bit more of a deeper dive into that on an upcoming podcast. But those two will enter into obviously the top 100 in Scotland. Both of them will have a very good chance. It's a matter of probably where they're going to be in GB&I, to be quite honest. And the jury's still out whether they can crack the world top 100.
It's a big ask.
It's a big...
Look, the best new builds of last year are... One is maybe looking towards it.
Yeah, so even in the world rankings, like for the big new builds, you've got... And again, to align our rankings, we have to look like if you're top 50 in America, you have a chance at World Top 100. If you're top 40 in GB&I, you have a chance at the World Top 100. If you're top 10 in Australia and New Zealand, you have a chance at the World Top 100. But there's probably like another 50 clubs that you could slot in between 80 and 100, and no one would really be able to argue with you. So as far as new build stuff, you've had some amazing properties come online since our last cycle. So you've had the Lido, which is Tom Doak's design in the States. You've had...
To be fair, the Lido is not really a new course, though, is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a new course, but it's new for our rankings.
No, I know.
You know what I mean.
But that not no as in like it is a old historic golf course that's been...
Completely, yeah. Like a full restorative new course, if that makes sense.
It's a weird... But the thing I would say about it is we know that when it was around before... It was one of the best golf courses in the world.
Considered to be probably the best example of golf course architecture in America.
So what you have there is a pretty tried and tested.
It's amazing having spoken to individuals that built a lot of it and shaped a lot of it. The amount of detail they went into, and when you get some of the world's best golf course architects and shapers, like building stuff and then standing back and then seeing how it plays. And it's still revealing itself as to the genius of the design. And that's the bar that you're trying to get to enter into the World Top 100. So it's interesting. The next world rankings that we've got, the update to it, you're going to see some new builds kind of entering. And by new builds, it might not even just be in the last year. It might be in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but they're settling in. Golf courses aren't good straight away at opening,
It takes a bit of time for things to mature and settle.
I know there's been a lot of chat about whether we just don't go to golf courses till 3 years in, or don't rank golf courses till 3 years in. It's you're never going to enjoy your whiskey straight out of a barrel at 1 year old.
Absolutely. So it's one of those where Scotland, I think, for us is not that it's a work in progress. I think we have there's definitely tiers within rankings. So you can look at the top 13. It's world class. There's nothing better. The next bit in GB&I, you could be a member and play those courses almost every day, and you would never tire of your golf. And then from there, there's probably like 3 more tiers in Scotland. And even when you get to the bottom tier, that sounds horrible. it's still good golf.
It's not that it's still top tier if you were taking all Scottish golf courses.
Absolutely. And what's amazing too is like if you're top tier or top 100 in Scotland, chances are out of the 40,000 golf courses in the world, you've still got you're probably still in the top 1% of golf courses.
Yeah.
So all of these rankings have to be taken with a little bit of a pinch of salt, and you have to remember context. And I think that's what makes Scotland, Ireland, England, even Wales to a certain extent difficult, is that when you think about ranking, some people can get, their back up a little bit, and that's understandable because we all love our clubs, and that's why we're members of them. We've got our own preferences when it comes to what's good and bad and otherwise. But we're talking about the elite of the elite. If you had 40,000 of anything, and you were talking about the top 1,000.
I'm just now thinking about where's the best McDonald's in the world.
Exactly.
It's probably the original one. But it's true. It's you're talking about minutia when you're getting to that point, and it's particularly around the opinions of the time. Say what Tom Doak or Gil Hanse or Bill Coore believes makes a better golf course, and because they are the architects of the day, they are our generational talents. So what's their opinions on the best golf course? There might be, in 30 years, we might be turning back towards tricky, hard to play golf courses, just because it feels like every golf course in the last 30 years has started to follow the Tom Doak, the Gil Hanse, and to find uniqueness, you need to find trickiness.
And that's the interesting thing, like, as part of a broader theme, what the tastes of golf change. I think we've come back to the fact that, firm surfaces with fine grasses that allow multiple options and decisions that need to be made. And if you can incorporate the running game along with the aerial game, that's compelling golf. And when you put that formula together on the ground, like, you usually get a good golf course. So the other thing that we've done with Scotland, similar to the rest of the regions or countries in GB&I, is that we've gone away, not gone away, we still have them, but like almost the county rankings. So for example, now we've got more geographic rankings. So we've got Scotland as a whole, but then we have, so for example, where we are now, Grampian in Northeast. You've got Glasgow and Clyde Valley. You've got the Highlands and Islands, the Lothians, Tayside, South Scotland, and then the Central region. So again, we're starting to see this shift in top 100, that it's not just about like a geographic ranking, world, region, country, county, province, whatever it might be. But for a traveler, that they'll be able to say, well, I don't know where Angus and Dundee is.
Yep.
But I know where East Scotland is.
Yep.
And so when they're on the website or when they're planning their trip, they'll hopefully understand a little bit about the geography of Scotland, but they'll hopefully be able to see those courses in a bigger geographic area. And I think it's the point you made before. If you're up in, if you're in Fife and then you go across to Dundee, it's difficult to compare those two courses. What we're working towards is that all of the information, all the data, all of these things are feeding into eventually, hopefully, a trip builder, where depending on budget, time, and location, that we'll be able to effectively create a trip planner, a trip builder that would give you recommended itineraries. So you might have the option to build a trip with the foundation of, let's say you come up to Aberdeen, your initial trip might be Trump, Old and New, Cruden Bay, and Royal Aberdeen. If you're here for 3 days, you want to get those ones done. If you're here for 5 days, you might want to add in Merkur. If you're here for 7 days, you might add in Peterhead and Fraserburgh. And if you're here for 10 days, then maybe you do add in a Stonehaven, for example, just to see something a little bit different. But we'll hopefully in due course be able to bring that to the users of the website. So yeah, it's an exciting time, and something that we're already beta testing in the background. So just have to wait for that.
It's very exciting. Back to the Scotland list. What golf courses have risen?
So, like I said, it's a little bit difficult because the top 30 are almost set. But then there's that next bit where you get your courses like Ely, Mercer. They do quite well this time around. You also get, I think the biggest riser is Askernesh. So that's a golf course that completely divides opinion, because it's raw, it's rugged. Depending on when you play it in the season, there could be more daisies on the fairway than short grass. And depending on how many greenkeepers, i.e. sheep or other livestock, are out, there's various states of repair or disrepair constantly at Askernesh. But it is an absolutely brilliant golf course. It's as natural as it gets. The routing is great. It's an extremely good golf course. And I think in the past, unfortunately, we've probably not given it its fair dues, simply because it didn't fall into the typical, what is a golf course, into that box. And I think that's where we're making more like nuanced decisions and perhaps being a little bit more subjective. Is that those courses that are really good, but perhaps don't fit in a conventional box, we've kind of placed them where we think, and I think Askernesh is one that will probably continue to rise, but it's taken a big jump already. Again, little courses that you wouldn't necessarily, that don't necessarily jump out, but somewhere like Longnidree does quite well. It rises a good bit. And I think that's just a reflection of the fact they've done some really good work in recent years.
Yeah, they've got the second man from Muirfield in to run their golf course now, and it's done a huge amount of good for the golf course. Just simple things like tidying up mowing lines, rebuilding bunkers, increasing green pad size, just like very simple things that make a huge difference on particularly a golf course where you've had Harry Colt do a lot of the holes there. So, there's the bones are there to make something brilliant. They're tidying up some of the tree lines and just different things like that make a big difference.
And that's where, hopefully, even through this playing season, we feel that this has been a little bit of a reset in Scotland, where we've kind of aligned things again. But we will definitely try to get to as many Scottish golf clubs as we can, get the panel out to play, so that these courses that we've earmarked, that we've said, right, they've actually bumped up. And we want to get back through the season to see how these changes have bedded in, but then also hopefully in the autumn, when we do the post-playing season updates, that courses like that, and many others, of course, will also see a continued rise. So we're going on playing experience. We're going on recent course knowledge, and we have made some changes that, again, are rewarding those types of work. But this might just be that first step, and there's a second increase to come.
I've just realised that I've played. By the end of next week, I'll play 20 different Scottish golf courses this year.
And that's exactly what we want. So just keep it going. We might run out of golf courses by the end of the year if you keep on going.
And I just I was like, I haven't really played the same course twice. I wonder where I've been. Yeah, no, but that's the kind of the group that we have are wanting to go experience these places, and particularly the far out ones that might not even make a top 100 list, but deserve to be recognised that they exist. And if we turn up and we get blown away, there's definitely golf courses out there that we don't realise that we need to have a look at.
Well, I'll be honest. Some of the ones that stand out on the list, like in the contenders section. So we've actually got 50 contenders. I mean, you look at that list there. You and I both love Gullen 3,
Yeah.
Try, Isle of Harris, Durness, Dunaverty, or Dunaverty, however you want to call it. Shishkin is a bit of a cult classic. The other one that's going to be interesting is Taymouth Castle. And then you have the 2 courses at Carnoustie as well, the Budden and Burnside, that again just get overlooked. And we're not saying that they're going to go into the Scottish Top 100, but there's so many people that go to Carnoustie, play the championship, because it is one of the greatest links golf courses in the world, and something everyone should do once in their life at least. But looking at those courses and saying, actually, just because it's in the shadow of this, amazing thing, let's give it its fair dues. So there's loads there that I think will probably have a very good chance of moving in, and even the update post playing season is going to be exciting. So there we are.
Well, thank you very much for listening to our Scotland Top 100 Rankings podcast. I think we've probably extensively covered it. If you want to know about how your course has done, or your favourite golf course in Scotland, please go onto the website and check out our rankings. Will there be up and down arrows about where they've gone?
Yeah, we will do that. There'll be a news article when the rankings are released. There'll be social media updates on all of our channels, of course. There'll be an accompanying newsletter, so sign up to the newsletter so you don't miss anything. Any big releases that come out, we'll always let you know about. Follow us on social media, any of the platforms. And then there'll be an accompanying news article that kind of gives it like a digest of the courses that have fallen out, the courses that have edged in, the biggest movers and shakers, courses to watch that maybe have risen or fallen. And we kind of give you crib notes on this latest release. But I'm really excited about Scotland because I think there's a lot of quirky golf that's actually really, really good that in the past we've perhaps overlooked because it didn't fit into a particular box. And I think Scotland's going to be one of those rankings that will actually become very exciting because there's really cool golf to be had here that doesn't actually fit a traditional mold. But if we can uncover that and share it with the masses, I think Scotland's going to have, it'll become a more exciting travel destination than simply ticking off the big names in Ayrshire, East Lothian, Fife, and the Highlands. So, yeah, really looking forward to Scotland. The update, obviously, you'll be helping us out with that. And, keep it going.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and we'll see you all next week.